Professor Seaton.
I'm Professor Mulligan.
And I'm Professor Hines.
And
we are showing you Newton's 3 laws of motion. You can see this ball is not moving.
Why is that?
It is because of Newton's first law of motion, or inertia. An object in rest will stay in rest unless acted upon by an opposing force.
What's the opposing force?
The opposing force is part 2 of Newton's first law of motion. An object in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon by an opposing force. The opposing force will be the book. When the car goes down the ramp, the car will hit into the book, causing the car to stop. As you can see, the car would have stayed in motion, but gravity in the book acted upon the car, causing it to stop. This is Newton's first law of motion by Professor Hines.
This is Newton's second law of motion. Force equals mass times acceleration. Or the acceleration of an object depends on the force pulling the object and its mass. As you can see, this vehicle has little mass, and this washer will be the force. It will accelerate. As you can see, it accelerated more than it will if it had more mass. Now we will add more mass. And it should accelerate less since we still have the same force and the mass has changed. It accelerated less because it had more mass. This is Newton's second law of motion by Professor Mulligan.
This is Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Professor Mulligan and I will be dropping these cars, and they will be colliding and moving back in the same in the different directions. As you can see, since the cars have the same mass, the cars will go back the same distance. The collision is the action. The equal and opposite reaction is when the cars go backwards. This is Newton's third law by Professor Seaton. This is Newton's third law of motion. The action was the ball hitting the ground. The reaction is when the ground pushes up on the basketball and the basketball pushes up on the tennis ball.
Thanks for watching Newton's 3 laws of motion. Hope you learned something.